Hello, everyone, and welcome you all to the first chapter of the Adobe Illustrator Essential tutorial. Okay, so here on our first chapter, I'll be giving you guys an introduction to Adobe Illustrator. So, what this basically is, what all you can do through Adobe Illustrator, and what are presets, and also I'll be explaining you guys about the workspace where we'll be basically working. Okay, so we'll be learning about all of this here in this particular chapter. So let's not waste time and let's get started with the first chapter of our Adobe Illustrator Essential tutorial. So here, this one is the home page of the Adobe Illustrator. So the Adobe Illustrator is a graphic designing application. So this one is used by the graphic designers to create vector graphics and also vector images as well. Okay, so vector images and vector graphics are made of points, lines, shapes, and curves, and based on the mathematical formulas rather than a set of amount of pixels, and therefore can be scaled up or down while maintaining image quality. So basically, with Illustrator, we can create different type of graphic design, and this one is a advanced tool to create our graphics. So all the graphic designer, most of them, they prefer to work in the Adobe Illustrator because of its vast features and also because it provides accurate work. Okay, so we can do a lot of things using the Adobe Illustrator. So let's get started with our homepage first. So here, as you guys can see, this one is the Adobe Illustrator logo. Okay, so if you're familiar with any other Adobe software, so you guys might know that how the Adobe applications or the software looks like. So the logos are quite similar. And if you want to download Adobe Illustrator, you need to go to the Creative Cloud account. And from your Creative Cloud account, you guys can basically download this one and start working here. Okay. So here you can see these are different type of presets as you guys can see here on my home page. So from here I can actually get different type of presets. And here if I want to open a new file, I can open a new file. But if I do have any file already in my system, so from here this open option, it will directly take me to my place. So if I go to the Adobe Illustrator resource file, here you guys can see I do have different type of logos. So I need to first come here. Okay. So I'll just unzip all of my files. So I'll come here, Illustrator resource file, and I will just extract all from here. Okay. So while it's finished working, here you can see I do have a Illustrator file here. So if I want to open anything from here, I can basically click on this one and it will open in my Illustrator file. So this is how we can actually open. So let me come back again to my Illustrator homepage. So from this homepage, you guys have understood these basic things if you have used again before any kind of Adobe software, then you guys might be familiar with this similar workspace. Okay, so here are few of the learn options. So from here we can basically look at different type of tutorials and also different type of designs. Okay, so from here we can get inspiration. Suppose if you want to explore any shapes or if you want to jump into any color, we can get a tour from here basically. Okay, so this is the learn option. If I want to see all the tutorials, so these are not a complete tutorial, but this will just show you some basic works over here. Okay, so this one is the learn option. And now under the files option here, I do have your files, shared with you, and the deleted files. Okay, so in your files, here you will have all your saved work which you have done in Illustrator. It will be saved here, okay, in your cloud space. So here you guys can view it. And after that, when you are collaborating or working with someone in the Illustrator, they can also share your work. So if they have shared their particular work with you, it will be saved in shared with you option. Okay, so from here basically you will be able to see if any of the people or if any of your teammates have shared any document with you, then that particular work will be saved here. And last comes the deleted option, and this is quite self-explanatory. Okay, so if you have deleted any particular file from here, it will be saved in this deleted page. Basically, you guys can come here and also you can actually restore your file or delete it permanently. But if you just delete your file, it will be permanently removed from your page after 30 days. So you do have a 30 days time if you change your mind to restore it. Okay, so now let's again come to my home page, and here this from here you can view all your recent files. Okay, so if you have a lot of many files here, okay, so from here you can sort it by name, size, or what kind of file. You guys can do that, and also search from here according to the name. Okay, and here you can have a list view, and if you want to see a preview on a grid view, you can click on this grid view. Okay, so for me, I basically prefer the grid view, that I can see what or I do have, because it's quite hard to remember the names. Okay, so once you see any particular work, it's quite easy for us to see and actually log into that application. Okay, so now let's try and create some new file. Okay, so to create a new file, you guys will basically click here, and here you can see you will be able to see all your recent files. If you want to download any template from Adobe stock, you guys can actually type something and you can search here on Go. Then it will take you to the Chrome page, and from there you can basically download different type of templates. And if you do have saved any kind of work, here you can save this particular work, and here you will do have different presets according to the mobile. Okay, so here you can see I do have a lot of presets over here. So there are few sizes according to the phone. Here you can see iPhone 8, 7, 6 plus, and a lot many. Okay, so you guys can come up here and check which one you want to use. Okay, so basically now this is the web, and here are different templates. If you want to use it in your work, you guys can do that as well. So all this print option, the film and video, art and illustration, more templates. You guys can see a lot of templates, and here you can see I'll be using all these free templates from here. Okay. So suppose if you want to create any card, so basically you can take any of the templates from here, and on this one you guys can modify that and start working on your card from here. Okay, and suppose if you're creating any kind of logos, so from here you guys can take any kind of free templates from here and also modify those according to the need of your client or yourself. Okay, so here are different presets. What else size do I want? Do I want it a postcard size or a poster size? Okay, so this is the one. So I hope you guys have understood about the presets and how presets is basically used. So let's come here in this panel. Okay, so basically this is the place where you will be able to create a page and you will be able to rename your illustration. Okay, so maybe I will type here as introduction class. Okay, so I'll write introduction. And here you guys can see basically from here you can change the width and the height. And here as you can see my unit is in points. So from here basically you guys can also select if you want it in pixels or points or picas, inches, feet and inches, yards, millimeters, centimeters and meters. So all these units are here. So mostly I'll be using inches in all of this here. And here this is the height. Okay, so you guys can do that, and basically from here you guys can check the orientation. Okay, so orientation is basically do we want your artboard in a portrait shape or in a horizontal shape. Okay, so you guys can do that. Okay, and if you just hover your mouse over this icon, you guys will be able to see what orientation is this. And here they're also asking that how many artboards do you need. Okay, so here I'll be only choosing one artboard, and after that comes the bleed option. So if you're familiar with Adobe InDesign or any other software by Adobe, then you are also familiar with the bleed. Okay, so bleed is basically the margin outside your page. Okay, so bleeds extend colors and elements past the edge of your document so that it can be printed and trimmed down to size with no unwanted white margin around the edges. So this is used for that. And also it allows you to run artwork to the edge of a page. So on a press, the artwork is printed on a large sheet of paper. Okay, so when you go to a press or anything, the artwork or something, when you're creating a book or anything as such, it is printed in a large sheet of paper, then it is trimmed down to its size. If you do not allow for a 1 to 8 of an inch blade, any misalignment while cutting will result with the artwork not running to the edge of the paper. Okay, so it is just an extra space to save your design. Okay, so this is blade, and what I can do is I can actually increase the size from here. And as you can see, once I'm increasing my bleed here, all of these are changing. Okay, so bleed is on 4 sides. I'll be showing you. If you just unlink this one, and now here you can see if I change this one, other 3 values are not changing. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll keep it 0.25 inches only. And here these are few of the advanced options. Okay, so this is the color mode. So from here, CMYK color or RGB color. So I'll take the RGB color from here, and here they're asking me for the raster effect. Okay, so this one is quite good for me, which is 72 ppi. I'll select this, and the preview mode, I will just keep this one in default. Okay, so there are also more settings regarding this one. So from here you can actually customize your profile, a number of artboards, some basic things which I do have here as well. Okay, but this is more advanced. From here I can choose the height, width, okay, some advanced options, a few other templates. So these are mostly the same, not exactly. Okay, so from here, I'll just cancel this. And now I will create my new document here. Okay, so I'll click on create, and sometimes it might take some time. So here you guys can see I do have my artboard here. Okay, so basically this is the artboard, and here is the margin, and this one here you can see a red line just outside my margin. This is basically called the blade. Okay, so this is the blade which I was talking about. So let me just give you guys a preview of what all panel do I have. So this one is basically the workspace where I will be making my graphic, or I will be working on my graphic from here. Okay, and this one is basically the toolbar. So we will use all of this tool to edit our design. Okay, and this one is the properties panel. So from our properties panel, basically we can select different units, number of artboards. If I want to put any kind of rulers, I will be able to put the rulers. So here you guys can see, just to measure the size or to get alignment, you can use rulers. Okay, and here is another option as guides. Okay, so here is the guide option, and from here are the snap option. Okay, so we'll be learning about all of this in our later classes. And here you can see if you want to take any quick actions. Okay, so these are few of the options here, and these are few of the menu. Okay, so if I come to edit, I can redo or undo any of the thing. So for that, to show you guys in brief, let's come here, and I'll come to the file option, and I will open Illustrator in my file. Okay, so I do have this one. I'll come to my resource file, and from my resource file I will come to this illustration. Okay, so I'll come to this illustration and I will select this one. Okay, so here you guys can basically see that I do have an illustration. So what I can do is with my space bar, I'll click on my space bar, and here you can see my mouse is now a hand icon. So using this, I can just move around through this particular workspace. And if I want to zoom in, I will just zoom in using my control and plus. Okay, so here you can see I have just zoomed into this particular work here. So let me tell you guys something about all these tools. Okay, so here if I come, so this is basically the selection tool. So using the selection tool, what you guys can do is you guys can basically select a particular object in your workspace. Okay, so suppose if I come here, I will click on this again, and suppose I am selecting this particular icon from here. And what I want to do is I want to just shift this particular part from here, okay? This particular thing, and I want to move this one from here, okay? So basically I can select this one. I will just come here again. Okay, I will select this icon, and what I want to do is I just want to move this outside. So here you can see using this you can basically move around and also select different type of options here. Okay, so this is about the selection tool, and now there is another selection tool. Okay, so this is called the direct selection tool. Okay, so you guys, when you just hover around the icon, you guys can see what it basically does. Okay, so when you try to read that one, so it says that select and adjust anchor points and segments to reshape paths. So here I have showed you using this selection tool that I will be able to just select a particular thing from here and I'll be able to move around. But with my direct selection tool, what I can do is suppose I have selected this one here, or I have selected this here. What I can do is I can actually move this one and actually adjust the size. Suppose I will do this one here, and also here if I just zoom in, okay, so here you guys can see I do have many parts here. So if I want to just click on this one and using these icons, I can just basically select the sizes from here and I can actually work around all of this. Okay, so I'll just go back. That kind of looks ugly. So I'll just come here. I'll just go back. So yeah, back again at the same place. So here this is basically called the pen tool, and under pen tool I do also have the anchor point tool. So pen tool is basically used to create different designs or shapes. Okay, so this is how you guys can actually design. So this is how this one is actually done. So this is how you guys will be able to select all of this. And now I'll just select this and delete this one. And here, this one is the curvature tool. Okay, so using the curvature tool, I'll be showing you how you can make your own designs. And this one is the shape tool. On the shape tool, I do have different uh, shapes. Okay, rectangle, ellipse tool, polygon. Then I do have the star tool. If I want to create any line, I can do all of this as well. Okay, so this is that one, and this is the brush tool. Okay, so this is the paintbrush, and I do also have my pencil tool right here. And this one is the blob brush tool. And I'll be explaining you or showing you guys a project in each and every tool which I have available here. Okay, so this one is basically the type tool. If you want to type anything in your document while doing your graphic designing, I can actually use the type tool to write around. And this one is the rotation tool. Okay, so inside rotation I do also have the scale tool, the reflect tool, the shear tool. Okay, so we do have all this option as well. And now let's come to the eraser. So if you want to erase something, you guys can basically use the eraser tool, or if you want to cut something, you guys can use the scissor tool. And now let's move on to this tool. Okay, so this one is basically the shape builder. So we can basically create different shapes by combining and erasing parts of similar ones. Okay, so we can actually create different shapes from here. And this one is the gradient tool. Okay, so if I want to add a gradient of color, okay, I can basically do it from here. This one is the eyedropper tool, and this one is the curvature or the width tool. Okay, so using this width tool, I can actually change the width of any of my design. And here, this one is the blend. Okay, when we do have more shapes and colors, so we can actually combine those and make a good design. And here, this one is the artboard. So from here, basically, if I click on this one, I will be able to make another artboard here. So basically in Illustrator, we need to work inside our artboard. Okay, so we can't work outside the artboard. So if you are trying to make any logo or anything as such, any work we'll do, we need to do inside an artboard. Okay, so I'll select this and I'll delete this one again. And here I do have my zoom tool. Okay, and the shortcut key for that is Control and plus to zoom in, and also Control minus to zoom out. And here you guys can see the fill and stroke. Okay, if you don't want any color, you guys can choose all of this option. Okay, so if you want to add gradient, this is another option how you can add gradient. And here this is the default fill and stroke. So from here I can also select which one color I do want as default. Okay, so here and this is color option, and here is normal. Okay, if I want drawing something, this is the normal view. And here if I want to draw behind. Okay, so here you do have change screen mode. I can change my screen mode from here. And if I want to edit my toolbar, I can basically edit my toolbar. If I do want any of these tools from here, I can actually add all of these tools from here. So by default, I do have this one. Okay, and here I can also choose how I want my toolbar to be. So mostly I do prefer it on the top hand side, but what I can also do is I can just get it in one straight line. Okay, so for that what I can do is if I just click on this icon here, okay, you guys can see I do have my toolbar or my all the tools here in one line. Okay, so you guys can also do like this, but I want it in this one, okay, or in double line, that it will be quite easy for me to access. Okay, so I hope you guys have got an basic idea about what all this is. Okay, so these are few of the options which we'll be learning in the later stages of our classes once we just go step by step. So here you can see select, effect, view, windows. Okay, so from here basically what you guys can do is you guys can actually check out your workspace. Okay, so right now I'm using the essential workspace, but if you want to use any other workspace like the essential classics or layout, painting, okay, so you guys can use this one as well. So essential classics is basically the previous version. Okay, so if you're using any previous version of Adobe Illustrator, you guys need to choose the essential classic workspace, and from there you guys will have all these options on top to do the editing or to get this properties panel. Okay, so this is that one, and there are different other things which we'll learn slowly once we move deep into our lesson. Okay, so here is the help option. If you do face any kind of issues regarding the Adobe Illustrator, that this one is crashing or you're not able to work properly, suppose you have saved any particular work, now you're not able to find that particular file. In that case, you guys can come here and get some help regarding that. Okay, so you can dodge a complaint as well. Okay, and from here basically you will get different tutorials, community support, so you guys can go and check out the work of different designers, that how they do their work basically. Okay, so here is that one, and let's come to this properties panel. Suppose I have selected this one. So basically from here in my artboard, I can transform my artboard. I can also select. I can also change the name of this particular artboard. If I want to put any kind of preset, I can put different kind of preset from here. Okay, suppose I do have artboard here. Okay, I have created this artboard, and now I want to actually check this particular artboard to A4 size. So here you guys can see if I just zoom out. So here you can see now I do have a artboard A4 size one. Okay, so what I can do is I can come to this selection tool from here, and again come to the artboard option from here, and I can just bring this one somewhere here. Okay, and maybe I'll select this and again put this one right here. So here I will also check all these files from here. Okay, so this is how you can basically work around here in this particular workspace. So I'll delete this one. Okay, I will delete this total page over here. Okay, I'll delete this, and I will just put all these icons here on my artboard. Okay, I don't want that particular color, but I just only want my artboard. In that case, you guys can do all of this. Once we move deep into our class, we guys will get to know a lot about all of this. Okay, so I will just come here and I will also tell you guys about grouping, ungrouping, and everything in detail. Okay, so I have grouped this one. Now I can bring this all together. So I'll just group this one as well, and I will be able to move this one all together now. Okay, so here you guys can see if I have moved, selected this, and now I am able to move this one altogether. So this is how we can basically work. Suppose if I select this and if I want to do ungrouping, I can also do that. So hope you guys have understood this class, okay, the introductory class of how this actually works, and hope you guys are familiar with this one now. Okay, and before going, let's see a few of the libraries. So from here, basically, you can create your own libraries from where you can upload your own work and also share it with the Adobe Illustrator designer community. So from here, you guys can create your own library. If you want to explore the library from where you'll get to see different works from different designers, so you guys can click here in the explore libraries option and you guys will be here in this Adobe Cloud, okay, like the Creative Cloud page. So from here, you guys can check out different works. Okay, so if you want to see any 3D colors or anything, you guys can see here. Okay, so there are many things which you guys can do in this Illustrator. So we'll start with all of this, and this one is the layer. Okay, so basically under layer, we can work around. Okay, suppose from here, if I don't want to see this particular group, I can just click on this one. If I want to see them again, I can also select this. Okay, so this is about this particular class. Okay, and hope to see you all in the next tutorial where we'll be doing something practical. Okay, so as I've already shown you guys about this shape tool, okay? So here you guys can see I do have different shapes. So in next class, what we're going to do is quite interesting. We are going to see how we can actually create or draw with shapes and lines, okay? So we'll just make a shape and we'll also try to make some kind of design with all this tool. Okay, so hope to see you all in the next class. Till then, take care and goodbye, everyone.